Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash.
Bonjour. Man, I'm feeling kind of tired today. I wasn't sure I was going to do this. I was kind of like, maybe. But, like, unfortunately, I have a lot of tabs open. So I got to get rid of them. So we got to discuss them a little bit so I can get rid of them. I don't know where to start. It's probably not in any particular order. So I guess we'll just start with my Twitter, I guess. All right. I saw this. And it's wild. So the story behind this guy is apparently he was feeling all fucked up the shit that was going on over there. And so apparently he committed suicide. Well, I wish he maybe, stopped doing bad shit before he felt that way. And so now that his military is not going to give him a military funeral. I guess because he regretted the bad things that happened, they figure he doesn't deserve a military funeral. That's wild. You don't toe the line, boy, look what happens. Whew. That's pretty crazy. Someone's saying it's propaganda. But that's rough, man. Oof. Then, let's see, where are we at? Oh, yeah. So this girl that got released, well, I say she got released. I mean, it's always a changing story. But anyway, so they're talking about how she was this helpless teenage civilian that was kidnapped October 7th. Turns out that is not entirely the case. She was in the military. She was actually a legitimate prisoner of war, so to speak. She was military, or is military. She's not just some helpless little teenage girl they just grabbed out of nowhere. So it's amazing how they claim all these people are like helpless civilians that were attacked. Oh, no. Military service is mandatory once you turn 18 there. So I decided to share that bit. This guy, Pastor Greg Locke, is a fucking nutcase. Like, this guy still believes witches are a thing. Like, he was talking about, like, I forget what it was. It was something along the lines of women who are not quiet and know their place, or like witches and stuff. Like, it's fucking weird ass stuff. But he's claiming he's in Israel right now. And he's like, the media has lied to the world. I stand with Israel more than ever. Well, I find that weird because the media has been lying to us, but not the way he's making it sound. Like, the media has been trying to paint Israel as the good guy. So it's a very weird sentence. The media's lied to the world. I stand with Israel. Like, bro, what? What the fuck? Yeah, comment section is eating this dude up. Like, they're calling him an adulterer. Like, apparently he cheated on his wife or something with a secretary, I guess. Like, they're ripping him up in the comments. It's pretty funny. It's like, sir, you're disqualified because of your actions. You're no longer the voice for the body of Christ. Your anger is a sign you are carnal. What you did to your wife is disgraceful and ungodly. Like, god dang. Someone goes solo trip, or did you invite your homewrecker with you? Woof, they're eating him up in the comments. Like, he should have known. You should have been quiet. Let's see. A few people still liking for some reason. But the dude's fucking crazy. Like, you can find video clips of him. There we go. You can find clips of him on, like, YouTube and other places of him just saying some weird shit. So, yeah. I can't remember if he's the one that was talking about something about the pants in the family or something. Like, I forget what it was. Actually, I did kind of want to check. Let's see if I can find something on him real quick. Actually, no, I'll do it later because I'll have to change the way I'm doing this because you won't be able to hear it now. So. This I found interesting. So, like, every once in a while, I will do an image search to see if I can find images that have been altered. So right here, my stupid mouse. I swear to God, I need a new mouse. Another. All right. So she's saying this guy was killed. I don't want YouTube to kick me off, so I won't necessarily read out everything I see. But I thought this was interesting. So like, see if I can find it again. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Go for exact matches. Well, I've seen something a while back. Hold on. More exact matches. Because they like to kind of reuse images and change them up a little bit. So that way it's part of their propaganda thing. Uh-oh. I'm having a hard time finding it now. Ooh. Maybe they fixed that. Hold on, I'm looking. Yeah, I guess they got rid of that one. Because sometimes they'll post something that's kind of like they're acting like it's a new story, and you'll find it from like a few years ago. So sometimes I look for that. Yeah, I guess they got rid of the other because there was another image they had just like this, but the face was changed a little bit to look like somebody else. Ah, darn it. I wish I had kept it. Like, left that tab open. I just assumed I'd be able to come back and find it again, but I think they just kind of probably just got rid of it, I guess. Get rid of this real quick. Hmm. Well, that is absolute shit, but it's now gone. Next time I do an image search and I find something that looks a little strange, I'm just going to keep the tabs open and not just assume I will find it later. I don't know. I'll give them credit. They know how to clean up after themselves, I guess. Yep. They got rid of it. But it had two images of people who look very similar to this, but it was slightly changed. So I guess we'll just skip that for now because I can't prove shit anyway. So whatever. Anywho, let me go over here and see how everybody's doing. Oh, hello. Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. They've been doing horrible things. And if you, like, I understand you probably think that. You might have met one or two that are okay. But if you've seen the stuff that's been going on, the stuff the news is trying not to show us, don't you think it's odd that our very corrupt government is bending over backward for them? You don't think that's a little odd? Since when has our government ever sided on the right side? Like, no. But anywho, going down here, and we'll hop over to here. U.S. sanctions Palestine group involved in West Bank violence. Well, I mean, just sanction everybody. Shit. But how are you gonna, like? What I want to know is how are they gonna like sanction a particular group? I mean, are they gonna sanction everybody? Because that's kind of what's happening. Like, how are you gonna isolate the group and sanction them? That I want to know. I want to know how they're gonna figure out how to do something like that. That sounds kind of complicated to me. Now, this I found interesting. UN confirms 11 staff detained by the Houthis in Yemen. kind of, I don't know. Let's see. The UN has called for an immediate release of 11 of its personnel who have been detained by the Houthi movement in Yemen. The employees were taken in various parts of the conflict-torn country, in which appear to be coordinated crackdown. The UN spokesman Durjarak said that the world body is pursuing all available channels to secure the safe and unconditional release. Well, let's see. Apparently, if I can find it, they're accusing these UN workers of being kind of spies, I guess. I want to know if they'll actually tell us why they were detained. The detention demonstrates the risks facing aid workers, where a decade-long civil war has reportedly killed more than 150,000. Well, they're not really seeming to explain why these particular 11 were detained. But I'm going to assume they thought they were spies. That's my best guess. Now, this is interesting. The CIA assessment concludes that Netanyahu is likely to defy U.S. pressure to set a post-war plan for Gaza. First of all, I want to know why they have involved the CIA in brokering deals, because the CIA cannot be trusted. That kind of thing is for diplomats. Diplomats are supposed to help sit down and broker deals among leaders. So having the CIA doing it just tells me the CIA is involved, like they always are, in shit they shouldn't be fucking with. So I have every reason to believe the CIA was behind pretty much everything that's been going on. Because it seems weird, again, because it's not a CIA agent's fucking job to broker deals between country leaders. So I don't know why we're letting them do that. I can't believe, and where'd it go? Some of my tabs don't work quite right. Oh, here we go. Schumer justifies congressional invite to Netanyahu. Let's see. He's justifying. Like, well, you can't trust anything that Chuck Schumer does. Chuck Schumer is a little skeezy bastard who will do anything for money, and we all know this. Him and Mike Johnson are both absolute weirdos. They really are. I mean, it's one of the ways you can look is it's like to know what side you're on. Is if the people you know are bad, like Chuck Schumer, and you see what they do, you can kind of figure that that's probably not a good side to be on. Let's see. Former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett joins Morning Joe to discuss the ongoing efforts to secure the remaining hostages and the current state of the conflict, including the latest ceasefire proposal. First, Naftali Bennett's kind of an asshole, and he's always been an asshole. So, I really feel like he shouldn't be involved in any of this. And they're not even going to explain how these 4 hostages were killed. I find that suspicious. It's possible that Israel killed its hostages again. Because y'all remember those 3 hostages who were like waving white shirts as white flags, yelling in Hebrew, "Do not shoot." They were yelling in Hebrew. And the IDF shot them anyway. I mean, the fuck? I'm afraid that might be what happened to these folks as well. I don't remember why I had this up. Because we kind of talked about this before, so I'm not sure why I had this tab up specifically. But we'll move on to the next thing. Oh, this is actually kind of funny. John Fetterman brags that brain damage made him abandon progressives. It's oh my god! I mean, brain damage definitely is one way to describe John Fetterman. I wonder when he had this stroke, supposedly. Like, I actually want to look that up, like, when that happened. Is it going to say when he had that? Because, like, yeah, it's not going to tell us when he had his stroke, because I am kind of wondering, like, because they're not, as this article mentions, saber rattling for Israel. No politician should be rooting harder for another country than they do their own country. And that's a big issue I have. And I wouldn't even really care what country it was necessarily. Our politicians should not have dual citizenship, and they should not have dual loyalties to any other country. And a lot of Republicans, a lot of people, myself, of my party, who've always said, and now they have completely abandoned that concept. Let me see. Let's see. So this is October of 2022. So, okay. So he's been brain damaged for quite a while. Certainly explains some things, because the last 2 years that we've noticed him, he's been an absolute douche. So, okay. We can chalk that up too. Oh, hello. Hello, Miss Frosty Broccoli. How are you? Hey, Digital Pollution. Lots of hugs to you. Hey, it happens to the best of us. Phones are not very good for trying to talk to folks. Well, I mean, it is, but not for, like, commenting and stuff. So, ooh, hold on. This I agree. I like the idea of peace. I think most people like peace who have seen a lack of peace. Usually people who have been comfortable with peace all their life are the ones that seem to want the drama the most, because they need to feel something that breaks that monotony. And so, yeah. And the news cycles, the 24-hour news cycles, have messed up people's thinking, because it bombards them with I think it's referred to as fear porn, basically. Constantly having us worried about what's behind the next, around the next corner. Constantly having us bombarded with horrible images, fear, constantly. Because if you're constantly being bombarded with this stuff, it's hard to make a sound and proper decision. And they don't want us to make those kind of decisions, because the assholes in DC wouldn't have a job. So it has messed up a lot of people's thinking. I absolutely agree. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm feeling a little tired, but I was like, nah, I gotta get through these. Yeah, exactly. And they want to bombard us, because constant fear, constant bombardment of terrible images and fear can alter a person's brain. And that's what they want for us. All of us. I mean, people wouldn't tolerate the horrible shit going on right now as much if this shit wasn't happening. And then people turning against each other and being like, how dare you not think this way or that way? So you end up with peer pressure to pressure you into a decision, into a thought process you would have normally gone for. The whole thing's a fucking mess. All right, let me see. Darn it. Mouse is like all jittery. But so he's had brain damage for like 2 years. Sounds legit. That tracks. I know this is some Oklahoma politics, but God, I don't know. But Frank Lucas keeps getting fucking elected. Dude's a fucking piece of shit. Like I swear to God, it's him, a guy named Cole, and Stephanie Bice. Always doing some stupid ass shit. Always. Like, they're always like, they're down always for some stupid red flag gun confiscation laws. They're always, I don't know how he keeps getting elected. Like, all right, it's right here. 3rd District has long been a safe seat for the 64-year-old Lucas, who won a special election after Democrat Glenn English left Congress in 1994. 1994. I was 12, almost 13. I'm 43 almost. Absolute hunk of shit that he's still in office. Then he won a re-election later that year in a general election. Lucas did not draw any primary opponents until 2002. And after that, he didn't draw any other GOP challengers until 2012. In both 2018 and 2020, he ran unopposed. Like, what the fuck? Can nobody just fucking muster it together and run against him properly? Are you kidding? I feel like he's bribed something to be able to keep running unopposed. But in 2022, Lucas had his strongest primary challenge, becoming a congressman. He faced 2 challengers that year, winning 61% of the vote, his lowest primary total as an incumbent. And he was running against Wade Burleson. I've actually met Wade Burleson, and he seems kind of all right. At least he did at the time. People can change, so I don't know if he's a bad guy now, but he seemed all right at that time. And Stephen Butler, I don't know who that is. I've never met him. But yeah, I was just stunned when apparently he's been in office in one fashion or another since 1994. You gotta be fucking kidding. And I don't think this is like my area, my district, so I couldn't even run for this area. Because let me see, the 3rd District. Yeah, I'd have to look to see what section that is. But oh, and so yeah. Microsoft Start. What is this? Oh yeah, I do want to actually cover that. Hold on. We'll get to that in a minute. So here, let's see. A Jewish army major resigns over the war in Gaza. Let's see. I'll try to play this where you can see the captions, because I don't want Facebook to get mad because I'm playing their copyrighted MSNBC bullshit. So I'll hide that little thing right there, and I'll play it, and you can read the captions. All right. A U.S. Army major on the back end, a 13-year career in the military. Oh, so he's in the U.S. military as well. Okay. And it says the first member to resign over it, which implies to me that there was others that have done so since then. Good for him. I'm sorry it took him this long to get a conscience, but I'm glad to see that he is, and anybody else who quits because of this. And there has been the last 2 or 3 years, there's been a lot of former IDF soldiers who have come out and confessed the horrible shit they did and how much they regretted doing it. I just wish there was more. I wish they would listen to the soldiers that came before them and not fucking do this shit. I wish YouTube wasn't so uptight so I could actually play this and let y'all hear it. At least it's got captions, but well, good for her. Good for her too. I have noticed in the last like 2 or 3 months that I'm being called anti-Semitic a lot less. And I think a lot of it is because a lot of Jewish people, including Israelis, are coming out and saying, hey, this is fucked up. This is not what we want. This isn't us. And it's really hard to call me anti-Semitic for being against it when they're against it too, or at least a lot of them. So I've noticed that the shit talking about that has gone down dramatically, which is really cool because I was really tired of like hearing that because it doesn't really have any power when someone just throws that word around all the time. Anywho, but let's see. I don't know why it keeps saying Microsoft Start. Fuck off with that. Here it says Israeli special forces dress as Palestinian refugees for hostage rescue, which is weird because that actually seems to kind of not go right because they were saying that during that quote unquote rescue, they were dressed as aid workers and people who are bringing food and stuff in those trucks. And that's how, you know, all these people were gathering around, which of course they're going to gather around because they think food is arriving. Duh. But yeah, so now they're claiming they dress as Palestinians. And what makes me wonder when I see things like this is if they're dressing like Palestinians for, you know, this or that, it makes me wonder how often have they dressed like Palestinians to commit a crime? Because, I mean, America, we all know that term, false flag operation, inside job. We're familiar with those terms. Very familiar with those terms. So I can't help but wonder if once in a while they dress up like this to, you know, kick a hornet's nest that otherwise would not have. You know what I mean? Like, And okay, I guess I was open on 2 different tabs for some fucking reason or other. I was actually wanting to look this up to see if she's actually supposed to be the girl that was on the back of a truck. Because when the shit went down and they were claiming all these horrible things were happening, there was supposedly footage of a girl in the back of a truck. And there was some inconsistencies with the pictures. That, like, they were kind of photo edited funny, making her arm look like it was one way and then a different way. It was weird. I'm actually wondering if those images were supposed to be her or not. Here we go. I'm trying to, let's see, search web 4. But I need to let's see if I can find an article that implies whether or not she was supposed to be the girl in the back of the truck or not. Because I don't know if it was her, it was supposed to be her or somebody else. But if it was supposed to be her, and it obviously wasn't because she's alive and she's healthy, then that would certainly. Oh. Okay. Search for her. All right. So when they were putting out reports that she was gone. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go back and just like check this like at another time. because it's a lot of images to go through to try to find. I don't even know how to really ask the question I'm trying to ask for it to give me the results. I don't know. We'll probably just do that another time. I'll look into it and see if that is. Leave studio. No, stay. We don't want to do that. No. Hey, Sashi. Yeah, I will check though. There is no telling, but I will check and see, because if it was, because they use those images to really just drive the whole idea home. So I'm curious if they're going to be like, whoops. Let's see. Who's getting oh yeah, the copyright, yeah, for the news thing. YouTube has absolutely no sense of fair play at all. It's not like I'm trying to pass off the news as my own. It's, literally a news report that goes public for everybody to see. It's not like I would be profiting off of it. I don't think that quite works, especially since I don't think a lot of Palestinians speak Hebrew, but whatever. And you have a lot more white Israelis than you do Palestinians, but I mean, whatever. Huh? Oh yeah. I saw that where they said that was they use anti-Semitic to try to hush dissent and don't want people to like talk about stuff. Yeah, I have seen that. Hello, Hector. Anywho, well, I think I complained about everything I needed to complain about for now. Oh, well, humorously though, there's a minister, because we're talking about Minister Greg Locke, or Greg Locks, whatever he is. But yeah, apparently one of our ministers here apparently just like flipped the fuck out on Twitter. So let's see. Let's pause it. Can I make this bigger? It's not gonna let me make this any bigger. That sucks. Can I? It is not really letting me make it any bigger. But apparently Jackson Laymeyer was talking about, I guess he was referring to Kamala Harris, and he was talking about get rid of Joe and the hoe, I think was his quote. And remember, this is a minister. Like, he's got, like, the Sheridan Church is like his thing. And so someone disgraceful, because he's referring to a woman as a hoe, which is kind of like not really on brand for a minister to do that. She goes, "You are no pastor. What scripture did you get that from? Evil." And he starts copying and pasting the same response to everybody. "Would you prefer whore or slut?" And she goes, "Do you call yourself a pastor?" And he copy and pastes the same response. And someone goes, "Aren't you a minister?" And he copy and pastes the same response. In fact, actually, let's see if we can go find him real quick. Hold on. So this is yeah, that's Twitter. So let's go find. Oh yeah, somebody was posting that article, and that's from the Times of Israel, that Hamas actually did offer to release the hostages on the 9th and 10th, but they were like, they weren't having it. So that's what that is. Before I left, I wanted to show you that. But anyway, so let's look it up. Jackson, stupid keyboard. Jackson Laymeyer. Well, I don't know if he's deleted it yet, but let's go take a look, I guess. Oh, okay. Joe and the hoe needs evicted. Okay. So here, that way you can actually see what he's saying. And he just copies and pastes his response to everybody. Call yourself a pastor? He goes, "Would you prefer whore or slut?" He's like a teenage boy who just learned a new word, so he's just using it again and again. And it said, "Unbecoming from a man of God." He says it again, "Would you prefer whore or slut?" It's so weird that he just copy and paste this whole thing. Like, he keeps copying and pasting that one response. Like, that is such a bizarre, that's so weird. So yeah, he just copy and paste that same response. Like people were wondering if he was like hacked or something. I think he's just got some damage done to his head. Because it's just so weird to see a minister talking like this. But yeah, apparently somebody was like, they were checking and turns out it wasn't hacked and he legit was saying this. I'm sure he's going to go around and say, it's okay, God forgives me. I'm sure he will. Some people were roasting him in the comments and being like, so how old was your wife when you married her? Because I think his wife was like, I think she's like his second wife. I think she was like 17 when he married her. I think. In the state of Oklahoma, sadly, as long as you have a parent's permission, you can get married at like 14 or 15. It's very yeah. But yeah. So yeah, people were roasting him, asking him how old his wife was when they got married. That person got blocked, which I was amused by that. So yeah, he's very creepy. Like I'm waiting for at some point for him to get busted for like being caught with like a prostitute or a young boy or something. Like I'm kind of waiting for that to happen to him because it's just so on brand for how weird he acts. Let's see. I think way too many groups are patting themselves on the shoulder for a job not well done. I'm gonna try, but when they're all paid off by the deep state, it's like, who do you fucking elect? You know? I mean, Google tries to push the kind of people they want. They are push them to the top of the results, and anything else gets pushed down. They have ways of just trying to not give any advertising or any algorithm push to any other candidates, but what's more preferred. So that way, it ends up what's in front of us is what we pick. I don't like them. I'm patriot. Well, I mean that almost really has nothing to do with it in a way because patriotism isn't about liking your liking your government. It's only about liking your country, but not your government. You should never confuse those. Right? The lobbyists should be illegal. I mean, obviously politicians will never allow that to happen because they like making that extra money. Somebody who gets paid $200,000 a year are really excited about becoming millionaires by year 3. You know what I mean? And Oklahoma politicians are no exception. You should look up how much Mark Wayne Mullen has made recently. It was insider trading, and nobody's doing a goddamn thing about it. I mean, you can literally see like when he bought stocks and when certain things were passed. Like the TikTok ban, before it passed, he knew it was going to pass. He went and bought a whole bunch of stocks in Meta. And then there was the EPA was going to put out a thing to where they wanted people to have water meters. He bought stocks in that water meter company before it passed. He knew it was going to be mandatory, and he bought stocks to reflect that. And nobody did a fucking thing about it. And it infuriates me. I mean, this is how you get homegrown terrorists, because when they tell you to take all the right channels, it's because the bad guys control those channels. So nothing will ever get done. It's like asking bad guys to investigate themselves. They're not going to fucking do it. And then when anybody steps out of line and does something hands-on, they're like, oh no, terrorists. The biggest terrorists in the world wear suits. And we all know it. Right? Yeah, our politicians should not be getting money from other countries. We shouldn't be giving money to the other countries. And it's weird because they are basically paying off our politicians with our tax dollars that are being sent over there to them. It's ridiculous. Who was? Did I miss something? She was arrested a couple of weeks ago. Huh? I feel silly because I'm not quite sure who was. Oh, wait. Also, where was it? Let me go back to my Twitter real quick. That's still flabbergasted. You just copy and paste that. Like, how unoriginal. Let's see. I'm going to have to go to my thing here. Oh, this was fucked up. So this girl was released. She was one of the hostages released. And she said that the Hamas didn't treat her bad. They gave her food. She was safe. She was comfortable. She said that they treated her all right. And so a whole bunch of people are writing to her going, too bad you returned. Like, they're harassing this girl because she's not saying untrue stuff. Oh, apparently they had a little typo there. Oh, or was that just her name? Was kidnapped in Gaza from the kibbutz Kfar Aza, along with her mother and brother. She said the public didn't like that she described her relationship with her captors, and people can't grasp what it's like to be a hostage. See, okay, apparently it's the paywall. Fuck, I hate that so much. But yeah, but she said that they weren't hurting her. They fed her, all this stuff. And Israeli citizens, or Zionists in general, have been writing hate messages to her, telling her that they wish she had died, too bad she came back, all this stuff. And she's a hostage who just came back, and you're harassing her because she's not feeding into the fear porn. Wow. Holy fuck. She didn't say these people were going to be her new best friend or anything. She just said they didn't treat her shitty. What the fuck? And so this goes back to that thing I was talking about. If you don't toe the line, your own people will eat you alive. This is very much an example of that. They're not even giving this girl any grace. She just got back. And this is how they treat her. Because she didn't toe the line and feed into the fear porn. And I think that's fucked up, man. Even by my standards, that's fucked up. And I feel bad for her on that. I do. People should not be punished for being honest. I don't know. I've not run into a whole lot of good ministers. And these young ones these days, the ones that are like 40 and under, it's a whole bunch of something. Oh, what the shit? I don't know why that got blocked. I'm sorry. Oop, skipped one by accident. You know what? I'm thinking about vote. I think I will vote for her. There's some stuff I'm not really big on about her, but I feel like if someone's not being paid off by a bunch of lobbyists, and I feel like the problem is at least local, and we can at least, if we don't like someone, we can petition her about it. I feel like we'd have better luck than someone who it just is an ivory tower and untouchable. You know what I mean? I respect the fact. Darn it, YouTube, leave him alone. Quit being selective. Sorry. Fuck you, YouTube. I've seen the shit you allow people to say. So leave him alone, fuckers. Poor Frosty, bro. And I like the fact that she doesn't flip-flop on that. Like, she stayed consistent. I like that about a politician. If they can stay consistent. Even if I don't always agree with them, I can at least respect the fact that, they, stay honest about it. And their consistency. Because if someone changes their mind a whole bunch, I assume that I cannot trust them. Did I talk about everything I want to talk about? Oh, yeah, I just want to get rid of that real quick. Oh, this. I love this. I like this. All right, I don't know why this is on here, because whatever. Actually, I'm going to unshare it for a minute, so that way because if I share an individual window, you can hear it. But if I have it to where I share whatever's on the screen, you cannot. So I'm going to fix that real quick. There we go. Okay. I had to figure out what tab that was. I like this guy. This guy's name is Massey.
This has to be one.
Dying to see a professional or corporate goth outfit. Okay. I've been really surprised by how many requests I get for this, so let's try it.
And it's frozen. Lovely.
I'm not by nature a goth person or really all that well versed in the culture,
Lovely.
So I don't want to make any generalizations.
But
that being said, all the respect to people who are a little bit more gothic. I just really.
Oh, it let me go this way, but it won't let me.
This has to be.
Was Jack Smith nominated by President Biden or confirmed by the U.S. Senate?
You're asking me about a case again, motions filed.
This is a simple question.
No, I'm not.
Was Jack Smith nominated by President Biden?
No, he was not.
Was he confirmed by the Senate?
No, he was not.
When was the special counsel statute passed?
There is no special counsel statute. There was an
So-
independent counsel statute that was expired.
So it expired. So what gives you the authority to appoint a special counsel?
Yeah, this is Representative Thomas Massey. I like this guy. He managed to get elected recently, I think, or reelected without lobbyist money, which was a big surprise to everybody. And I am super proud of him for that. I am. Like, it gives me hope that maybe others can be elected without it. Because AIPAC, I think, was trying to get someone else elected instead of him, and he won. And apparently he seems like a very honest guy. I mean, he's grilling motherfuckers left and right. I hope nothing happens to him. I really do. I really hope nothing happens to that guy. But I wanted to share that because I thought that was awesome. Anywho. I don't know what words would be getting caught on this. There we go. I never met Jessica Lynch. Jessica Lynch. I know that name from somewhere. Yet her gun didn't work. I was Jessica Lynch. Oh, wait. Hold up. Isn't that, yeah, that's a girl that, like, people were ragging on her. They said that she was not where she was supposed to be. And, like, she was caught and held for a while. I think. I know most of the captives from that OP didn't get as much media coverage as she did. I don't know. I vaguely remember the Jessica Lynch thing. Like, I had friends that were in the military at the time, and they were ragging on her, talking about she wasn't where she was supposed to be. She had gotten away from the group or something. Sorry, different convoy, same deployment. Gotcha. Well, she probably had, I think she had a nice face, and it was easily sold, you know, for clicks and views on the internet and for news. So that's probably why they picked her. I know she couldn't shoot her gun. Yeah, because I think it was talking about sand or something being in it. And, like, I don't know. But, yeah, I think people were ragging on her. I haven't heard that name in years. Holy fuck. But, yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah, her gun jammed. Apparently, people were saying that she wasn't taking care of her weapon properly, and that's why it didn't fire. Like, it was all kinds of shit. Yeah, it was crazy. That 2003. God, it's been a long time. Fuck, I feel so old. Oof. Yikes. God, that's been 21 years. God, I'm depressingly old. Jesus. Anyway. Well, I think I've vented all I needed to vent. I think I did. Bitched about everything. Oh, wait. Somebody sent me a message. Oh, we'll have to make that for a different time. I feel like the Talmud is like, what's the word? That's kind of a deep dive, which I'm down with. Like, I'm all about deep dive into some shit. But I feel like, I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to wrap it up for right now. Oh, yes, and I wanted to bitch for a second. I forgot. So the asshole in charge of France, Macron or whatever, I keep thinking macaroons every time I see his name, but Macron or something. Apparently he has somewhat dissolved parliament because him and his party didn't win like he thought they were going to, so he got mad, and he somewhat dissolved the parliament, and they're talking about starting over. I'm like, what? Yeah, y'all might want to go check that out because, man, there's nothing like a sore losing Frenchie. Fuck. So, yeah, that apparently is going on. Because when I saw someone on TikTok talking about he dissolved it, I was like, no fucking way. I had to go look it up. I was like, no way. And sure enough, he did. And I got to tell you, it's always a bad pattern when someone wants to, like, do somewhat dissolve parliament or their Supreme Court, what have you. That's never a good sign. Nothing good has ever come from that. In 1933, a certain little angry man, stripped the powers from their parliament and shit kicked off. Hold on a second. You say it wasn't her fault. Well, I mean, I wasn't there. I'm just saying a lot of people ragged on her. and I didn't know one way or the other. So I mean, couldn't really defend her. Plus, I wasn't back in 2003. I wasn't as political as I am now. I was very mildly political, nothing like I am now. Not even close. Not even close. But like, I mean, if it wasn't her fault, then it wasn't her fault. But you know, I just remember hearing little bits about it. I heard more about people's opinion of it than actually what had happened, which is probably pretty common. But hold on, my brain just shut down. Oh yeah, so macaroon, like Macron, whatever. Like I don't know. Oh yeah, the little angry man in 1933 was stripping down the parliament in Germany, and then a certain angry little man in Israel. I think it was in July or August, started stripping powers away from the Supreme Court, which I actually made some live streams on before the October War started. I'm like, yo, that's not a good sign. Nothing good has ever come from this. Sure enough, it fucking didn't. Hold on. God, clean my ends every 12 hours. God almighty. I would definitely not be putting a lot of gun oil on that. It'd be a very thin coat for sure, because I don't want any more. I wouldn't want a whole bunch of sand sticking to it. Oof. But yeah, so now Macron is like, I'm gonna call him macaroon. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that little French bastard. Anyway, but yeah, him like wanting to kind of like fuck with their parliament. That's not a good sign. There is nothing more dangerous than a sore loser in power. So that has me concerned. I don't know, I don't know. I think the French better get their large blades out. They might have to have a 300-year-old resurgence of something. Because, yikes. We got a sore loser who didn't like how the election went, so he's going to try to break shit down and start again. Not good. Anywho's, but, alright. I love you guys. I'm going to hop off. I don't know who's coming on. I don't know who's going to be on tonight. Like, let me check. Is there anything going on? There's a couple of people on. I don't know when Raquel. I thought Raquel. I heard her talking about a live stream at some point, but honestly, I like tuned out and zoned out. So I kind of like, right? They'll surrender or they'll just fuck with people until somebody has to fuck with them. So I hope the citizenry like go after him if they need to. I absolutely hope so. I'll be proud of them. They should firebomb his house if he fucking tries to, disrespect their wishes. Because if they voted and they don't want him or his party, then he needs to shape up and take the hint, Not good when someone doesn't respect, no. Apparently he's not surrendering, and he probably should. Anyways, but I love all y'all. Y'all is awesome. Y'all always fabulous. I send you lots of hugs, and I will even play my little song again, because when I played it earlier, I think nobody was here when I started my intro. I think like one person was. So I'll play my little intro as an outro, and I send you hugs. Mwah.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant bull.